Today we're reading out of Philippians 2, verses 5 through 8, and here's what it says. Have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus, who though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself, by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men, and being found in human form, he humbled himself, by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. I love this passage because it shows us that Jesus in many ways is our life's answer. And if we look at verse 8 closely, we see one of the things that Paul says is that Jesus was a human and he humbled himself. You know, one of the problems with sin is that God had a plan for our life. He had a will for us, and we said no to that. In our pride that we had the answers for our life, that we knew what was good and best, we said no to God's plan. And look at where that got us, with all of the hurt and shame and damage that sin caused. But Jesus didn't go about it that way. He knew his Father and he trusted in his Father's will. And so he humbled himself to his Father's plan for his life. Instead of hating, he loved. Instead of taking revenge, he forgave. Instead of wounding, Jesus healed. He passed the test of life that you and I couldn't pass. And why is that important, everyone? Because it shows us that one of us, with God's help, could in fact faithfully follow the Father's plan. So someone came and did everything right on our behalf, did everything right for us. But what about all the things that we've done wrong? Well, Jesus is our answer for that too, because he paid our debt. He became obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. Because of sin in our life, we were heading down a bad road, and that road led to destruction and damage. We were moving away from God, away from life and towards death. That's where sin was leading us. And that wasn't Jesus' problem. That was our problem, but he chose to make it his problem to solve by taking our place, by dying the death that we should have died so that we could have life. And Jesus, he bridged the gap that was between us and God. That gap that once existed because of sin isn't there anymore. Jesus brought that relationship back. So your life is no longer the story of a sinner trying to not sin, but it can now be the story of a son or a daughter trying to live like their father, because Jesus brought that relationship back. He's the answer for not only all of your past mistakes, he's the answer for your present life.